when you are the one holding way above average responsibility and time starts to feel like an enemy, it is an invitation to make a sacred shift and adjust your relationship with time, how you're perceiving time, how you're interacting with time, and to step beyond this linear idea and this construct of time and step into this supernatural embodiment of time, where time becomes your ally, where time becomes in service to you, where you stop talking about how you don't have enough time, where you stop complaining about the amount of time you have, and you start to live in a different frequency and a different paradigm in relationship to time. I understand what it feels like to hold more than average pressure and responsibility, and yet I was able to make this sacred shift as a former solo mama who carried the sole financial burden on my shoulders to raise my son and had so much responsibility that I was carrying inside of my life, inside of other relationships that I had before I met the Mr., my beloved, my husband, and inside of my career, my leadership. I was still working in my former career, and I was also a natural hair care stylist on the side and had an additional stream of income coming in there. And I started in my calling and was a public speaker and taking on keynotes, and eventually started a blog and came on these internet streets and started building a personal brand, and eventually wrote a memoir, which has been retired, started my private coaching practice, and I did all of that as a single mama. And one of the main questions I often got asked during that time was, how did you find the time? How did you find the time to do all that? And what I discovered was it was less about doing. It was less about finding time, and it was more about who I was being in the time that I had. I adopted this philosophy that time is my ally. Time is in service to me. And I decided to not demonize time and to stop making time my ally, and instead to practice the feminine art of presence and live my life, not just according to the next day and the next hour and the next week and the next month and the next quarter and the next year, but instead to practice the feminine art of presence moment by moment, step by step, and sometimes, admittedly, minute by minute, when I was going through difficult times. During those times, as I was raising my son and working on developing myself and my womanhood and wanting to attract the love of my life in the Mr., on top of having ambitions and goals and dreams and driven, I was also very active and had time for fitness. Made time to honor my body temple and was running full marathons and half marathons and Tough Mudders and CrossFit before my knee told me, girlfriend, you need to have several seats. And I found a new path for honoring my body temple in this season of my seasoned womanhood. And I had time. I had time because I didn't demonize time. I didn't make time my enemy. I made time my ally. And it was as if the windows of heaven opened and I started to have this supernatural experience inside of my experiences with time, where when other people were saying they didn't have time and they were complaining about time and the time they had, I felt so much abundance of time. And so if you are either a full-time entrepreneur and you have a team and you hold multiple roles inside of your life, maybe you're a wife and a mother and a sister and a daughter and a friend and all the roles. Or maybe you are still working in your career, maybe it's in corporate or whatever the career is, and you're running a business on the side and you have this big dream to go into your business and your dreams full time. I understand that as well. I've been there. Or you are holding the role of solo mama, holding it down and still having your career and pursuing your ambitions. The invitation for you is to shift in how you're perceiving time and how you are in relationship with time. And can you be wherever your feet are planted here and now and be fully present here and now, fully here in your body, in your consciousness? That is how you start to have supernatural experiences inside of your life, inside of your relations, inside of your leadership, inside of your career that make absolutely no logical sense, but make absolute faith sense. That's how you start to experience these miraculous moments, because you were present moment by moment. Shift your relationship with time and watch how things start to unfold for you. My name is Casandra Austin McDonald, and I am here to walk with, support, and guide the modern day supernatural woman. Reach out if you would like to learn more.